So actually, you are a volunteer at Yad Vashem.
Yad Vashem.
How many years have you been volunteering?
About 22, 23 years since I retired. But I tell you, I had this in me all the years from May the 8th, 1945, Victory in Europe Day. I was a kid of 15, and all our friends from B'nai Akiva and the other youth movements and non-Jewish youngsters, thousands of us assembled in Trafalgar Square in central London, and we danced the night away. And we danced and we sang, of course we sang Zionist songs and so on and so forth. And I remember towards morning, towards dawn, I came back home, and my dad said to me, "Where have you been?" And I told him. And I said, well, he said to me, "Well, that's very nice, but I want you always to remember one thing." And he asked me to bring him my school atlas, which I did. And he opened it up, and he said, "I want you always to remember 22 miles separated us from the Shoah. Had they crossed the English Channel, we wouldn't be here to tell the story. Always remember, there but for the grace of God go I. That because of Chasdei Hashem, we were saved and we weren't affected." And I think that message stayed with me all the years. And when I retired and I was looking for something some volunteer work, it occurred to me that the one place where really I could feel that I could make a contribution was in Yad Vashem. I went through an extensive course, a 9-month course, including practicing guiding and so on. And I've done it ever since, much less than I used to. I used to do it 3-4 times a week. I today do it 2 or 3 times a month, but always with VIPs. And I always try and prepare a list of the righteous among the nations, the righteous Gentiles from the country from which they come. Particularly for the British. It's important for them to know that 22 Brits have been honoured as righteous among the nations. They should know that as well. Each one with his amazing story. Some of them saved 1 or 2 people, and some saved thousands, like the famous Schindler or Raoul Wallenberg and
Winston. There was the very famous.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, and do you do youngsters as well?
Not
or the
anymore.
Children of some of the VIPs there?
But I'm very proud that I have a son who guides in Yad Vashem, and his wife teaches in the school there as well. So I'm passing it on to the next generation.
And Asha, I just want to ask you, did you ever come across Zorak Verhaftig?
I remember him.
You remember him?
Of course.
And you knew him and his family?
I didn't know his family, but I knew him. Are you connected with the family?
Because he had a major role to play in asking for the visas.
Sure. Oh, sure, of course. Sure. The story of the Holocaust is never ending. I constantly learn new things. For example, I had the Minister of War, of Defence of Denmark a little while ago, and the Danish ambassador came with him. He came with his wife, and the Danish ambassador is a very bright lady, very interesting lady. And we were standing by next to a little boat where the Danish Jews were evacuated, taken onto larger boats and so on. And she said something to me that I didn't know. She said the day when the evacuation began of the Danish Jews to Sweden, the municipality of Copenhagen issued a decree saying anyone who is short of housing and wants to use the houses of the Jews may do so, but they must open a bank account, and every month they must put in money for the equivalent of the rent that they would have paid for such a home. And in 2 years' time, they knew that, and it was true, in 2 years' time when the Jews come back, their homes have to be in perfect condition, the same way as they found it. Their gardens must be watered, everything must be in excellent condition.
And must be returned to the owners.
Yeah.
That's quite
Which
unique.
is very, very different
and very
from the
unique.
reputation of the Dutch, whose police came and took the Jews away. The story of Anne Frank. And the Norwegians and the Belgians and the Poles and others who unfortunately, not all of them, thank God, but many of them collaborated. And in the case of Denmark, the king and queen stayed behind. They didn't run away to England. They stayed with their people, and the underground saved the Jews, the Danish underground.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Asher, thank you so much, and may you just continue to inspire. And it's whoever has the honor to be with you and to hear your words, and somebody who's been a real Gibor in Israel. You really are a hero of the nation of Israel.
Thank you, Dr. Leslie Glassman.
Thank you. It's such a great honor and a privilege to be with Asher Cailingold here in Jerusalem. And Asher, really, we've known each other for many years, and it's been always an honor and a privilege to know you and your dear family.
Leslie, thank you so much. And thank you for all your effort in bringing these ideas to a wider audience.
It's the greatest honor, really. Thank you.
Thank you.